The discovery of Joshua's Great Witness Stone at Shechem. Between the twin peaks of Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim lies a valley steeped in ancient history, a place where biblical narratives and archaeological discoveries collide. This is Shechem, a city central to the story of Israel's covenant with God. Today, we uncover one of archaeology's most striking confirmations of scripture, the discovery of Joshua's Great Witness Stone, a relic that bridges the gap between faith and history. To understand the significance of this stone, we turn to the Bible. In Joshua 24, after decades of conquest, Joshua gathers the tribes of Israel at Shechem. Here, he reminds them of God's faithfulness. From Abraham's first altar in Shechem to their deliverance from Egypt, Joshua issues a challenge. Choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The people vow allegiance to God, and Joshua responds with a prophetic act. He takes a massive stone and sets it beneath an oak tree near the holy place of the Lord, declaring, "This stone will be a witness against us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord." But the story doesn't end there. Centuries later, in Judges 9, Shechem becomes a battleground for Israel's soul. After Gideon's death, the people abandon God and erect a temple to Baal-berith, the Lord of the Covenant. Gideon's son Abimelech is crowned king beside a sacred pillar at Shechem. The stone Joshua raised as a witness to faithfulness becomes a symbol of rebellion. Why Shechem? This city was no ordinary settlement. It sat at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, a melting pot of cultures. For the Israelites, it held sacred memory. Abraham built his first altar here. Jacob buried foreign idols under its oak tree, and Joseph's bones were laid to rest nearby. Joshua's choice of Shechem for the covenant renewal was deliberate, a reclaiming of holy ground. Fast forward to 1913, German archaeologist Ernst Sellen arrives at Tel Balata, the mound hiding ancient Shechem. His team uncovers massive fortifications, but the true breakthrough comes in 1926. While excavating a plaza near the city gate, Sellen's workers hit stone, not ordinary rubble, but a monolith. At first, Sellen misinterprets the find. The stone lies beside a carved trough, which he dismisses as a watering hole for animals. But days later, another discovery changes everything. A second stone, smaller but identical in design, stands upright in a socket. Sellen realizes these are matzavot, sacred standing stones common in ancient Near Eastern worship. The largest stone, weighing over a ton, is hoisted into its base. It fits perfectly. Nearby, Sellen uncovers an altar littered with animal bones and the charred remains of a monumental building. The walls, 17 feet thick, suggest a temple tower, its upper floors reduced to ash. For Sellen, the pieces align. This is the temple of Baal-berith from Judges 9, destroyed by fire as the Bible describes. Not everyone embraced Sellen's conclusion. His successor, Gabriel Welter, dismissed the biblical link as romanticism. To Welter, a secular archaeologist, the stones were mere Canaanite relics. In a shocking act, he ordered the sacred pillar torn down and dumped into a trench, a deliberate erasure of Sellen's religious fantasy. Welter has undone years of work. The stone is shattered, but the truth cannot be buried. The debate raged for decades. Then, in the 1950s, American archaeologist G. Ernest Wright reignited the investigation. Wright, a pioneer of biblical archaeology, revisited Sellen's notes and the discarded stone. Wright's team faced a puzzle. The temple's burn layer dated to the 12th century BCE, the era of the Judges. The stone's smoothed surface matched Deuteronomy 27's command to inscribe laws on plaster. Even the oak tree mentioned in Joshua 24 left clues. Pollen samples revealed ancient oaks near the site. Wright's conclusion was bold. This was Joshua's witness stone, later repurposed for idolatry. The temple's destruction by fire mirrored Abimelech's fate, a king consumed by the same flames he unleashed on his people. This stone's weathered face tells a story of sacred purpose and human betrayal. Smoothed by ancient hands, its surface once bore a thick layer of plaster, a deliberate act of devotion. Deuteronomy 27 commanded Israel to coat standing stones with plaster and inscribe God's laws, transforming raw rock into a covenant manifesto. For generations, this pillar stood as a beacon. Blessings for obedience chiseled alongside curses for rebellion, a stark reminder of the stakes of faithfulness. Imagine pilgrims entering Shechem, reading these words under the shade of ancient oaks. The stone wasn't just a monument, it was a mirror, reflecting Israel's identity as God's chosen people. But over time, the plaster cracked, the words faded, and the unthinkable happened. Israel repurposed God's covenant symbol into a shrine for Baal-Berith, a god of empty promises. Archaeologists uncovered the cost of this betrayal: idols of Asherah, altars stained with animal blood, and the tiny bones of infants sacrificed to Baal. The stone itself was fractured, likely by invading armies centuries later. Yet even in ruin it speaks. Its cracks follow the natural grain of the limestone, a silent testament to how rebellion splinters what God designed for unity. Unlike pagan standing stones, which were often pristine and whole, Israel's covenant stone lies broken. A paradox. Its fractures don't signify defeat, but resilience. It survived fire, hammers, and millennia of neglect. Why? Because true covenants aren't erased by human failure. They endure, waiting to be rediscovered. Why dig through ancient dirt for a broken stone? Because this isn't just archaeology, it's a dialogue between earth and eternity, the burn layer and the temple. It dates to the 12th century BCE, aligning perfectly with Judges 9. The plaster, mixed precisely as Deuteronomy prescribed. Even pollen from nearby springs confirms oaks flourished here when Joshua rallied Israel. Critics argue coincidence, but coincidence doesn't layer ash over altars, bury infant bones, or shatter stones in ways that mirror biblical drama. Shechem forces a question: what if the Bible isn't myth but memory? A memory etched not just in scrolls but in stone and soil. Israel's story is ours. We still trade covenants for counterfeits, power, wealth, or apathy. Like ancient Shechem, we build temples to gods that demand everything and give nothing. Joshua's challenge: choose this day whom you will serve, it isn't locked in the past. It's a ripple through time, reaching us here, now. Centuries after Abimelech's fire, Jesus came to this valley. At Jacob's well, he told a woman, true worshippers worship in spirit and truth. The covenant had moved from stone to flesh, from plaster to heart. Where Israel's stone failed, Christ's sacrifice triumphed. His body, broken like Shechem's pillar, became the ultimate witness. God's faithfulness outlasts even our deepest failures. Shechem's stone still stands, not as a relic of defeat, but as a compass. Its cracks map a choice. Will we repeat Israel's mistakes or anchor ourselves to a covenant that redeems brokenness? The answer isn't in the dirt, it's in us. Choose wisely. Joshua's stone still stands. Broken, yes, but resilient. It whispers to us, remember God's faithfulness. Remember the cost of rebellion, and remember the Messiah who turned our brokenness into redemption. In the dirt of Shechem, we find more than history. We find a mirror to our souls and a call to choose wisely. If this journey through ancient stones and sacred stories moved you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us for more discoveries that bridge history and faith. Like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Every voice adds to the story. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and choose wisely.